In the early centuries of Cambodian history, long before modern borders were drawn, a powerful civilization rose from the heart of mainland Southeast Asia. This was the Khmer Empire, built not only by warriors and kings, but also by queens, scholars, and spiritual leaders. Among them were rulers whose names began with a sacred word, Indra, the king of gods in Hindu belief. Today, we explore the kings and queens bearing the name Indra, figures who shaped the rise, transformation, and legacy of Angkor. One of the earliest royal figures associated with the name Indra was Princess Indray, a royal descendant of King Jayavarman II, the founder of the Angkor era, who reigned from 800 to 835. Princess Indray lived at the dawn of Angkorian civilization, a time of consolidation and fierce ambition. She was not merely a royal woman of ceremonial importance. Historical inscriptions describe her as a skilled military leader who led successful campaigns against Khmer forces and rebellious groups along the eastern borders near Kampa. Later in life, Princess Indray withdrew from the world of warfare and turned to spiritual practice. According to historical records, she traveled to the sacred site of present-day Preah Vihear, which at that time had not yet been built in stone. There stood only a simple wooden hermitage, a place of quiet contemplation. There, she installed a massive natural stone linga and consecrated it under the sacred name Sri Sakarasva. This profound act marked one of the earliest spiritual foundations of Preah Vihear long before later kings transformed it into a monumental temple complex that would touch the heavens. In the year 877, a new ruler ascended the throne, King Indravarman I. He ruled until 889 and established his capital at Hera Halaya, in present-day Rowus, near Siem Reap. Indravarman I was related by blood to King Jayavarman III and married Queen Indradevi I, a woman of noble lineage from Sambupura, strengthening the dynastic alliances that secured his reign. His rule marked a turning point in Khmer history, laying the groundwork for the golden age of Angkor. One of his first major achievements was the construction of the Indratataka Barrage, a massive water reservoir that demonstrated advanced hydraulic engineering, essential foundation for Angkor's agricultural power and urban prosperity. This colossal project was not just a feat of infrastructure. It was a symbol of the king's divine responsibility to provide for his people. Soon after, he built Preah Keo Temple to honor his royal ancestors, followed by Bakong Temple, the first large state temple mountain in Khmer history, a stone representation of Mount Meru, the home of the gods. Under Indravarman I, the kingdom entered a period of peace, prosperity, and expansion. His authority stretched from the southern seas to regions beyond present-day northeastern Thailand. Archaeological evidence, including Buddhist structures built during his reign, confirms that Cambodia was already becoming a formidable regional power, its influence radiating across Southeast Asia. Queen Indradevi I, the chief queen reign of Indravarman I, lived during a time of regional turmoil that had deeply scarred the Khmer psyche. At the end of the Chenla period, the powerful Srivijaya Empire launched devastating invasions into mainland Cambodia. The city of Sambupura, her very homeland, was attacked, its palace destroyed, and its king tragically killed. Foreign records even suggest that members of the Khmer royal family were taken captive across the seas. A humiliating blow to the kingdom's sovereignty. These traumatic events shaped the political consciousness of early Angkor and strengthened the collective resolve to build a powerful, centralized empire, one that could never again fall prey to foreign domination. Centuries later, another remarkable woman bearing the same name emerged from the pages of history, Queen Indradevi II, one of the most influential women in the entire Khmer epic. She was the second chief queen of King Jayavarman VII, the empire's greatest Buddhist ruler. Born into a high-ranking scholarly family, Indradevi II was renowned for her intelligence, beauty, and deep knowledge of Buddhist philosophy. Her wisdom was said to be as profound as her compassion. Initially, her sister Jayavarman was appointed chief queen, but after Jayavarman's death, caused by years of ascetic devotion and intense concern for the king during his prolonged wars, Indradevi II was elevated to the position of principal queen. She became not only the king's consort, but also his most trusted advisor, his teacher, and his ideological partner in one of the most ambitious social and religious transformations in history. Under her profound influence, Jayavarman VII transformed from a formidable warrior king into a ruler guided by the principles of Mahayana Buddhist compassion. Queen Indradevi II championed a vision of a welfare state built on merit and morality. She promoted education and literacy for all, establishing universities and monastic schools. She was the driving force behind the creation of orphanages and hospitals that provided care for the sick and the vulnerable, ensuring social welfare was extended across the vast empire. Indradevi II personally taught Buddhist doctrine to women and scholars, fostering an intellectual and spiritual renaissance. She oversaw the creation of inscriptions documenting royal merit and the king's boundless compassion for his subjects. She sponsored enormous donations to major temples such as Priyakan, Taprom, Bayon, and even extended her patronage to Khmer temples far beyond Cambodia's modern borders, like Phi Mai and Phanomrung in present-day Thailand. Through her efforts, Khmer cultural and spiritual influence reached its zenith. However, her sweeping reforms were not without opposition. By elevating Buddhism to the state religion and reducing the traditional political power of the Brahmin priesthood, Queen Indradevi II provoked resentment among conservative elites who saw their long-held influence diminishing. Yet her vision prevailed, shaping Angkor into one of the world's greatest Buddhist civilizations, a testament to her intellect and will. In this new era, statues of the king, queens, and royal ancestors were erected throughout the empire, just as idols, but as symbols of a new kind of spiritual kingship, one based on moral rule and compassionate action. Following the monumental reign of Jayavarman VII, several kings bore the name Indravarman, presiding over the gradual decline of Angkor's glory. Indravarman II ruled from the grand capital of Angkor Thom. He launched military campaigns against Jayavarman, but later withdrew his forces to confront internal revolts and granted independence to the neighboring kingdom of Champa, signaling a shift in imperial strategy. In the late 13th century, Indravarman III ascended the throne amid whispers of palace intrigue, according to the detailed account of the Chinese envoy Jayavarman. His rise to power involved the theft of the royal sword, a sacred symbol of kingship, suggesting a break in legitimate succession. He ruled during a time of weakening central authority and died in 1307. His successor, Indravarman I, ruled peacefully and focused on maintaining stable diplomatic and trade relations with China, which sought war elephants from the Khmer kingdom. These later reigns marked the final centuries of Angkor's power, a slow fading of an empire that had once shone as the brightest star in Southeast Asia.